Hello there, Valiant fans, and welcome. This is Tyson Agler, and join me as head Manhattanville College field hockey coach Kevin Kelly. Coach, a great year for the Valiants as they qualify for the conference tournament for the first time since 2011. Can you talk about how the Valiants were able to earn the number 3 seed in the MAC Freedom Tournament?
Yeah, we were pretty pleased with the getting into the tournament this year. That was one of the principal goals we set early in August, to just qualify and get into the tournament. And I think the play of the kids and what they were able to do this season on the field just really inspired them to keep going and going and going. And the way we set our goals up during the course of the season, by dividing the season in thirds and watching our improvement through each one of those thirds, I think it was really a strong motivation factor to get them there. So we're very happy and we're very excited to have an appearance in the tournament this year.
And speaking of motivation, the Valiants had a lot of it this year. Coming into the season, Manhattanville was picked to finish 8th in the conference tournament, finish as 3rd seed. Did you use that poll as motivation to, show the girls, this is what the conference thinks of us, and this is what we know we can do, though?
At the beginning of the season, when we look at the polls, I always kind of take the polls with a little bit of grain of salt. But looking at ourselves being placed 8th, I said I can probably use this year. And we talked a little bit about what the conference was in terms of how they felt we were going to play or not play. And I think the kids were kind of inspired by the fact that they said, okay, look, nobody's expecting anything out of us this year, so let's just surprise them all by beating them and getting into the tournament. And we kept talking about that the whole year long, about how different we are as a team and how different the conference thinks of us, and about getting ourselves on the field and proving to everybody that we know how to play this game and we can win.
And one of the big keys to Manhattanville having a successful year was the play of your penalty corners. Offensively, you scored on 20% of your penalty corners, and even more impressively, defensively, you only gave up 8 goals on 201 penalty corners, which equals to about 4% goals on the penalty corners for your opponents. Can you just talk about how your special teams unit has been able to come up time and time again and give Manhattanville some big wins?
Well, after looking at our performance from the years past, I decided that where we were and the kind of personnel we had, that we had to take the situations that were given to us to score. We didn't think we were going to score much from the field because we didn't have the firepower, but we knew that if we got the opportunities to get to penalty corners, then we could do something there. So we definitely put a lot of practice on our penalty corners, our offensive penalty corners this year, because we knew everybody was going to key on beat. There was no question about that. And so I said, look, it's not going to be a surprise, so let's just design our corners in such a way that she can get the shot off, and then we can finish up, down low with the players coming in and out. And so everybody kind of really contributed to that. They all kind of bought into what they had to do. They were willing to sacrifice the body to get to the ball. And I wish we were a little bit stronger on that, but I'm happy with the percentage we had. And I also know that as we're going into the playoffs, that's going to play large in terms of what we're doing. On the other side of the coin, the defensive penalty corners, that's been amazing this year. The play, most likely Hallie Linkram. I mean, she's number 5 in the country for line saves. Caitlin in the goal. We have 2 freshmen out there who key positions. When I saw how good Robin was in terms of her speed, we decided immediately to make her a flyer, and she's probably gotten to about 85% of the balls on top and been able to knock them away. Amir on the low end, just very good stick control. She's very composed. She doesn't make mistakes. And of course, B on the post, who is absolutely fearless out there and working. With Caitlin's ability to clear the ball the way she's been doing this season and the work of the other people out there, I'm just amazed at what they've been able to do, and they're just so determined. And I also realized that we were probably going to get a lot of penalty corners called against us, and the hardest thing is when you get that corner over and over and over again. So we just kept practicing that and just digging in, and I think with each game their confidence grew, and they pretty much knew we're one of the strongest penalty corner teams in defensive teams in our conference, and we can pretty much do away with those penalty corners. So it's built a lot of confidence in their ability to play.
And also, Coach, another big key for the Valiants, the play of your upperclassmen. 4 of your top 5 scorers, upperclassmen. 2 of your 3 starting defenders, upperclassmen, along with Caitlin Halloran in between the pipes, a junior this year. How important is it that your experienced players are coming back and having great and successful seasons for Manhattanville?
You can't replace experience, and having seniors up there who are effective in the offensive end and on the defensive side. The younger kids look up to them, and our 3 freshmen, I think, have performed beyond what their initial talent was because they're inspired by the player, the upperclassmen. In particular, Melissa has had a phenomenal breakthrough season this year in terms of her ability to get the ball to B and help with the assists. And so that kind of stepping up, B's power shot from the top, Amanda's hustle going in, you just can't replace that. And that only comes with experience. And, having seniors on the squad and having upperclassmen on the squad who can really perform at the level we need to inspires the younger kids to reach even farther with their skills. And I think it's paid off this year, threefold what we were last year.
First round of the conference tournament, you're going to square off against the Lady Monarchs of Kings College. Can you tell us what you know about the Lady Monarchs?
Well, we know a couple of things. Having played them once already and being able to defeat them in that game, that's both a good thing and a bad thing. The adage in sport is it's very difficult to beat the same team twice, and we believe that. And I think, also going into Pennsylvania to play them on their home field also gives them a little bit of advantage. But we know how to play them. We've been on the field with them. I think the biggest thing is that our kids know we can match up to them, and we have beaten them, and that's going to kind of inspire them to be even stronger in terms of the playoff hockey. But I've tried to tell these kids numerous times that when you're in playoffs, it's a whole different story, and they need to look at this as a brand new game, something different than they've seen before, in order to kind of just don't take them lightly, don't think because we beat them once we're going to beat them again, and just take it as it comes on the field and work real hard. We're going to have a few surprises for Kings. We've changed a few things around because they know us as well as we know them, and I know their coach is going to be saying, okay, we got to do X, Y, and Z. But hopefully, we'll put together a strong performance like we did the first time we played them and come out on top and make it into the finals.
Any other advantages that you see for your team, not only playing Kings, but also getting the victory against the Lady Monarchs earlier this year here at GoValiants.com field?
Well, as I said, it's the experience. We know we've done it, and we know we can do it. So I don't think the team is going to feel bad if we go behind or come forward, because we've done that numerous times this year. Also, our experience in playing in so many overtime games this year and shootouts, that if it goes that far, I think we have far more experience than Kings in those areas, and that will really serve us well. The big thing for us is to score early, maintain the scoring, and not to go into a defensive shell. And I think the reason we beat them the first time is that's exactly what we did. We stayed strong on the offense, we scored early on, and then we just kept coming at them, and I think we caught them a little bit flat-foot. We know who their top players are, we know how to cover them because we basically eliminated them from the last time we played, and I think, it's going to be a tough game because they're doing the same thing we're doing, so I think you're going to see two really good teams playing really good hockey for a chance to go into the final game of the season.
And then finally, Coach, what's going to be the key for the Valiants to qualify for the conference championship game for the first time since 2005?
Survival at this point. We have to all be healthy. We're a little beat up. We have to be healthy. We have to have 100% on the field. And I know that's kind of an old saying, but this is a game, and we talked about it, that this is where you take the extra step. This is where you die for that ball. This is where you sacrifice your body to get to that ball, to put it in. And I think my kids are ready to do that. And as I said, we're going to come out flying. We're going to come out and we're going to do what we do. We're going to defend the defensive corners, and we're going to score on offensive corners. And by the end of the game, that should put us in pretty good stead.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck on Wednesday.
Thanks very much. We really appreciate it.
This woman is my destiny.